Okay, thank you guys for coming back to listen to another episode. I'm here with Destiny Moore. Hi, Destiny.
Hi,
How's it going?
it's going good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited. Today we're going to be talking about homeownership and wedding planning and how stressful both of those things can be.
Yes.
You've been a homeowner for a while. How many years have you owned your house?
Four. So I got my house in September of 2018, so the year I graduated from undergrad. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
4
impressive.
years, long years.
Yeah, I we bought a house in March and then we got married. Well, we got married the same day we bought the house,
Yeah, I saw that.
but yeah, we had our wedding in May and
Mhm.
your wedding is coming up next year. So,
Yes, yes. Next
yeah, we're
2023 is coming up.
yeah, we're both in this space kind of the two really big things. Well,
Yeah.
you've owned your house for a long time, but you know what I mean.
Well, it still feels like I haven't been here that long. I mean, when
Yeah.
I look at all the junk in my house, it does looks like I've been here for that long, but it doesn't really feel like I've been here that long.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get into all of that, can you describe yourself a little bit? What do you do for
Uh,
work? What do you do for fun?
I hate this type of question. I mean, like in job interviews, like describe yourself. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what should I say to make myself sound good? But so my name is Destiny. I grew up in Woodbridge, Virginia. We went to middle school together, Saunders, whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Um, and then I went to VCU for undergrad. Got my bachelor's in mass communications, public relations. Um, Stayed in Richmond after that. A lot of things made me stay in Richmond, but I stayed in Richmond, got a job, was not getting paid very well. And then I got another job, which I was getting paid decent. And then I got decided to go get my master's degree so I can make some money. And, so I got my master's degree. I just actually graduated this May from Virginia State. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. From Virginia State with my master's in media management. And so now I work for local government, which is different, but it's nice. Um, and slow. I should say that it's nice and slow. But yeah, and so I'm getting married next year. I have a dog named Pesos, my firstborn. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I'm a very creative person. I should say that I'm a very
Yeah.
creative person. I do graphic design. I do all different types of stuff. Honestly, anything I see on TikTok, I will try to do it, and then I will master it, and I will try to sell it. So that's like my thing. Like if I see something interesting and creative on TikTok that I think I can do, I will do it. So I definitely am a creative person. And yeah, I like to travel, I like to eat. I've been
Mhm.
working out, which is why I look like a hot mess right now because I worked out this morning and I didn't have time to get myself together.
You look
Um,
great.
Thank you. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, I'm always so impressed by how many things you're able to do that you can charge money for. Like, you have so many different side hustles. I don't know how to do anything. So I
TikTok,
think that's
man.
very cool.
TikTok teaches you everything. Now you got to go to YouTube. TikTok teaches you like the bare minimum, and then you got to move to YouTube, and that teaches you how to really do everything. But yeah, if you can make it, why not charge people for it? They don't want to do it, so I'll
Right.
do it. Yeah,
Okay, so you said you bought your house right after, well, not right after, but a few months after you graduated from college.
yeah,
So you were 22?
yes, yes. Try to do the math in my head. Yes, I was. I'm 26 now. But yeah, so the whole situation into getting a house, I wasn't even planning on getting a house.
Mhm.
At the time, I was with this guy, boo, but tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. And we was graduating from college, and the apartment, it was kind of like a college apartment. So VCU didn't own it, but like it was a college apartment basically. And so my lease was like ending, and I didn't want to go back home because I have a full house back at home, and I just would not have any peace. So I wanted to stay in Richmond, and then the guy who I was dating at the time, he said move in with me. So I was like, okay, cool. So then my mom, I was staying with him. And so my mom, she actually wanted to rent, she wanted to buy a house in Richmond and then flip it, but she wanted me to stay in the house while she was flipping it, basically. So yeah, which at the time when I first, I was like, okay, cool, whatever, I'll rent it out from you, or whatever, we'll flip it. And then she's in Northern Virginia, so they still live in Woodbridge, and then I'm in Richmond, so I was kind of sent on like dummy missions to find houses, and all the houses that were like flippable, I guess, were not livable. I was not living in any of them. I was like, I'm not. There was spiders. The house I saw had rats and it was roaches. I was like, oh no, ma'am, no, ma'am. So I don't know how it kind of got turned into me buying a house because she just kept saying it's a good investment. It's a good investment. And at the time, I was kind of like breaking up with the guy, so I was like, I kind of needed somewhere to go anyway. So I was either buy an apartment or get an apartment or buy a house. And she kept saying, a house is a better investment of your money, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so then we just started the home buying process. Well, I started, I guess. And she helped me a lot. Honestly, I couldn't really tell you a lot of what happened. She kind of did a lot for me because I had no idea what I was doing. I had just graduated from college. I had paid no bills before that. So I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah, so then I bought a house. I graduated in May and I got a house in September of that year. So that's how I
Cool.
got to this house.
Yeah, it's so interesting you weren't looking to buy a house initially because that's kind of what our situation was. I wanted to rent a townhouse
Hmm.
because I just knew if we got an apartment, we were going to be on top of each other and
Yeah,
fighting with each other. And I was like, we need more space because I feel
right.
like we have a lot of stuff and
Yeah,
a two-bedroom apartment is not going to work.
right.
So we started looking at rents for townhouses and they were the same price as a mortgage.
Yeah, no, I would never.
It
I would never. No.
was crazy. And the thing with renting townhouses is like you have to sign the lease like right before you move in. You can't have it set up a couple months in advance. So I'm like,
Yeah,
this
they don't
is
wait for you.
right. So I didn't actually want to stay in Woodbridge. The only way I was willing to do it was if we were in this neighborhood.
Hmm.
So we got a house in this neighborhood and it all worked out. But it's so funny how it happened when you weren't necessarily like actively looking for it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely new because, like I said, I had paid no bills before. I haven't paid my phone bill. Like the only like the only bill I was paying because I had just got a new car my senior year of college, so I was paying my car note. Like that was my first ever bill. Like I
Mhm.
have wonderful parents who pay everything for me up
Yeah.
until that point. And so like moving into a house it was a really big transition because now I'm paying a mortgage, now I'm paying electricity, now I'm paying my utility bills, now I'm paying cable, now I'm paying for a security system. Like I'm paying for all these things and I have a crappy job that I just got out of college. So I'm like I look back at that time, like the only reason why I made it through that time was God, like honestly, because I was overworked and underpaid. I should say that. I was overworked and underpaid a lot. And yeah, it was a very rough first year and a half. But
Yeah.
being a real adult, I'll say.
So, what was like the maintenance adjustment like? Because apartment living, anything's wrong, a light bulb goes out, you can call somebody to fix
Yeah.
it. So, what were some unexpected responsibilities in like the day to day of being a homeowner?
Well, my house is kind of older. And so there's a lot of things at first. Honestly, there's still things. Not as much as in the beginning because I've fixed a lot of it. But
Mhm.
like one day I I'm trying to pick which one. But so one day I was washing a blanket and it's like one of those like thick like over like throw over blankets, whatever that you put on your couch or something like that. And I was using the bathroom and like I just saw and the blanket was gray. So I saw stuff coming from my tub and I was like, what is that? Like water and black lint and stuff. I was like, what is that? And then I go into my kitchen. That's not really it's like you have to pass my kitchen to get to like the laundry room area and there's like water all over the floor. Like the floor is soaking wet and it's coming from my washing machine. And so I called the people and like they said like water, like the line to my house was like had roots and it was like backed up and all that stuff. So I had to get the whole entire line replaced. Yeah, that was a lot for someone who had a crappy job. So thank God my mom, she helped me a lot in the beginning, like because she knew that I didn't know what I was signing up for, so she kind of helped me a lot. Thank God for her. And then when I got the house, so let me kind of backtrack. On Realtor, 'cause I found the house on Realtor.com, and they didn't have any pictures. I have it upstairs in my house, but they didn't show any of those pictures online. And so when I got to the house, there was like a door, and we're like, "What does this door lead to?" And it's upstairs, which is kind of cool. So, um, well, upstairs there was a bucket up there, like a big, like one of those like construction buckets or whatever. And I just thought they left it there. I was like, okay, they left the bucket, whatever, like because the upstairs wasn't done. Like it was kind of just like an attic basically. And so I was like, whatever, they left the bucket. But I didn't know that bucket was actually collecting water because there was a leak in my roof. And then one day I came home and my ceiling is on the ground. And so,
What?
yeah. And so my ceiling is on the ground because of the leak from the bucket and the bucket overflowed. And the thing
I
is, there
would
was a,
have cried.
yeah, I wanted to. There was a crack though. There was a crack in my ceiling. It was like right above my front door. And I kept looking at it. I'm like, what is that? But I never like really thought, I don't own a house. I never owned a house. I was like, whatever, as long as nothing happens, I don't care. And I probably should have checked because then I had to replace my whole entire ceiling and my whole roof. So I had to get a whole new roof. Those are like the major things that's happened so far. But other than that,
Oh my
everything's been kind
God.
of fine. Everything's been fine since then. Honestly, those are the two major things. Outside of that, it's been other like little stuff, but those are the
Yeah,
two major things that's cost me like thousands of dollars.
I
So
cannot imagine. Were you scared to live alone?
no, I was ready to live alone, especially after breaking up with that boy. I was ready to live alone. And I mean, my roommate, because I had like one of my roommates in college, I had from sophomore year to senior year. So even if we thought about living together again, which wouldn't have been a problem because we have lived together for so long. So we were kind of used to each other. But I think everyone should live alone. Like, I think that's like a big thing. Like, I think everyone should have a time where they just live by themselves. Because I think everyone needs to experience that. Like, I'm glad I got to do it before my fiance moved in, but I think everyone deserves a time to just be by themselves. Plus, I got a security system because I was not playing. But yeah,
Yeah, I think learning to enjoy your own company and if you have the opportunity to like live on your own is super, super important.
yeah,
I wish I had gotten to do that. That just didn't end up being in the plan, but I wish that I had.
yeah. I
But
think it teaches
yeah,
you a lot about yourself and your responsibilities as an adult and stuff like that. So
yeah. So I remember seeing you post on Instagram videos of you going through the upstairs of your house and you finished it, right?
hmm, yeah.
So
So
what was that process like?
it was so my neighbor across the street, he actually does that stuff. Like, so it was very convenient. Like, he would just come across the street and him and his team would do stuff. But
Oh, cool.
yeah. So like I said, like before I bought the house, when I was just looking at it up online, I didn't know there was upstairs. And so we got here, it was upstairs. And I knew I wanted to like, 'cause my house originally was like a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom house or whatever, which is fine for just me. But then like that gave it an opportunity to add another bedroom. And then there's like a loft area up there too. So it's like now it's a 3 bedroom house with like a little loft area, which is really nice. Um, that was expensive. It was worth it, but that project, it was very, I don't have furniture up there yet. But it's not because I can't afford it. I just I just don't have furniture up there yet. I need to get furniture.
Yeah.
But it was nice. I mean, it was a cool project. I mean, it wasn't didn't take that long, honestly. It was kind of like probably took maybe like a month and a half to really finish the main things, I should say, of everything. The convenience of having my neighbor across the street really doing a lot of it was nice because he literally just walked across the street. So, um, yeah, it was nice. I mean, like I said, it was expensive, but it was worth it because now this house is not my forever home. Definitely not. This is my investment house. So
Mhm.
now if I want to rent this house out or something like that, I have extra space which I can charge more. I'm not going to be one of those uh what's it called, landlords that tax people like a lot, but I can definitely do more than what I was able to do before. So it was definitely a good investment.
Yeah, it sounds like you're very good at managing your money since you're
Um,
able to take, to take care of all this. I'm impressed. But
try. It's hard, but
yeah, tell me about it. Have you done any other renovations to your house other than replacing the ceiling and the roof?
no, I do want to redo my kitchen and I do want to redo my bathroom, but no, the upstairs was like the main thing. Um, but yeah, I do want to redo my kitchen. I do want to redo my bathroom, but that stuff costs a lot of money. And I'm saving up
Mhm.
for a wedding, so
Right.
that will get done eventually. But they're not like terrible. It's not like, oh my gosh, this kitchen is horrendous, but it definitely needs to be updated, and my
Yeah.
bathroom definitely needs to be updated. So, because like I
Yeah,
said, I have an older house.
right. So have you done any like smaller DIY projects?
You would think that I did because
I
I'm a
would,
creative
yeah.
person, but I haven't. Like, I am not a big decorator. Like, I have decorations in my home, but I don't do a lot of DIY stuff for myself. Like, when I do creative stuff, it's for other people. Like, I don't ever really do it for me, which is, you would think I would, but
Right.
I never do. Like, so yeah, it's strange because I'm a very creative person. Like, my whole upstairs is kind of dedicated to all my artsy crafty stuff,
Mhm.
but I don't do anything for myself.
Oh, well, you should. It's a lot of work though. But
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I'm just like not into like decorating. I never have like my dorms. I never had like my dorm decorated. I have my
Mhm.
little Target comforter, and that was it. Like, I like I never. And I think because I knew like every year I was like moving, so I never thought to like really get settled in. And
Mhm.
so here, I guess I should probably settle in. I've been here for 4 years. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I had that mentality of like not really like putting anything up on the walls or like really decorating. So yeah.
Well, if you like it, then it works.
Also, I don't plan on being here for forever. That's why I feel like I
Right.
don't want to like really do anything because I don't plan on being here. I don't even want to be here in the next 2 years, honestly. Like, I want to be
Yeah.
in the new house. So it's like that's why I don't really want to do it because I just know this is not where I'm going to be forever.
Right. A new house still in Richmond?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, 'cause for me to come back to Woodbridge, I would need to be making six figures,
Hmm.
like well into the six figures, and I want to be working from home because I don't want to be sitting in traffic. Like, there's like a lot of stipulations for me to want to move back to Woodbridge.
Hmm.
But I mean, Richmond's not bad. I can get like a 5 bedroom house for $475,000, where in Woodbridge that would cost
What?
like it's almost $700,000. So I mean, I wouldn't mind staying out here.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. So
So, how has it been moving your fiance into your house?
good. He cleans a lot, which is nice.
Yeah, that sounds
So,
amazing.
but yeah, I mean, it kind of was like he was just staying over a lot anyway. So just like slowly, I was like, yeah, you should just leave some stuff here or whatever. You're already over here all the time anyway. And then just slowly started like all his stuff was here. And then like I was like, okay, well now you need to give me some rent. It's like, nah. But yeah, I mean it was good. Like, I don't know. Living home is fine. We don't argue really. Like, we annoy each other, like every couple annoys each other, but we don't ever really argue. There's nothing really to argue about, honestly. Like, he probably thinks I was a little bit cleaner, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it was, and like, he has kids, so it's like that was also a different transition. But yeah, I mean, it's been fine for me. I don't have any issues. I don't think he does. And like, he helps me with my dog. Like, he'll take my dog out. My dog, it's like that's like his second favorite person outside of me. And so yeah, I think it was not really like a oh my gosh, I'm living with a man. Like, this is crazy. Like, no, it was never really like that. So,
That's good. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of older married couples were
hmm
telling us that we're going to be arguing over little things and getting on each other's nerves, and that really hasn't happened for us either.
yeah.
I feel like the correlation I've noticed is a lot of those people got married like really young. And so arguing over, I don't know, the toilet paper being on backwards makes sense to a 21-year-old, but like, is
Yeah,
it really not that big of a deal?
right.
So, yeah, I feel like most of the quirky things that we do, we just laugh at each other more than like turning it into an argument.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell him about himself. Like, morning, he had coffee grinds all over the floor. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, get the coffee grinds up. Like, what are you doing? But other than that, I mean, that's like the basics of like
Yeah.
what it is. It's like you didn't feel that when you were walking on the floor, like like stuff like that. But
Yeah.
other than that, no. He honestly, I'm kind of glad he lives here because, well, I'm glad he lives here because he's my fiance. But he cleans up, which is nice because I mean, I'm not dirty, but I'm not definitely not like a neat freak. So it's nice for
Mhm.
him to. It's nice to come home to a clean house.
Yeah.
That's what it's nice. It's nice to come home to a clean house.
So how and when did you guys meet?
So ghetto. Okay, so we met on a dating app. I hate talking about that. I mean, I don't mind talking about it, but it just sounds so like womp womp.
That's normal
No, I guess it's
now.
now, but
Yeah.
I want to be like, I met him at a grocery store. He bumped into me with his cart, and we just met eye contact. That's what I want, but no, that's not.
Aw.
But we met on a dating app called Black or whatever, and it was my first ever dating app. And this was like, yeah, clearly after college because I met him after college. So the advertisement popped up on my Snapchat, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" So I was just being nosy, honestly. I wasn't really trying to like find love. That wasn't my vibe. So I was just on there being nosy, and yeah. So I don't even know if it's swiping left, swiping right, whatever it is. That's literally I was only on there for like a month, so I don't
Oh my
even know.
gosh.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't even know which way is the right way to deny or
I think
accept.
right is good, left is
Okay.
bad.
Well, I was swiping left and swiping right, and I mean, I was having some conversations with some guys, but it was never really. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just literally on there to be nosy to see what like guys were on here. And then yeah, he slid into my DMs, and I don't know how he like. I don't know what made this conversation different. I was like, oh, what this is going somewhere, I guess. Well, this conversation is going somewhere. And yeah, so then that was 2019. Yes, 2019. So we've been together for 3 years. Yeah, from an app.
So you said you weren't looking for love at the time. At what point in your relationship did you realize, like, I want to marry him?
Mm, That's a good question. When did I realize that? It's like, nah. I don't think I ever had a point in my life where I was like, oh, well, not point, point in my relationship, I say, where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to marry this man. Like, I don't think but I'm not the type of a person. Like, I'm not a super like lovey-dovey person. Like, I've never been that type of person. Like, I don't say babe, I don't say baby. I don't use those like pet names. And
Yeah.
I think I'm like crazy for that. So I never had like, did I want to marry him? Yes. Did I have like a moment like, oh my gosh, this morning I woke up and you are the man I want to marry. Like it was never like that. So plus I just like, I had stuff I needed to work on. Like I said, I had like a crappy job out of college. So I was trying to get out of that situation into a better job and go to grad school. So that was my priority, honestly, like getting out that crappy job and went to grad school. And he had stuff he had to work on, which I told him, like, like if we're gonna be together, this is what A, B, and C needs to get done. And so I feel like when he did A, B, and C to get it done, that's what I knew he like actually, you know, was taking it. I mean, he always took it seriously, but like he really was like serious, like because he did A, B, and C. Like I told him to do A, B, and C, and so that was a nice reassurance to know that he's willing to do what it takes to make things work and make this relationship successful. Plus, also, it wasn't even really just for me; it was for him too. Because he, like I said, he has kids. I'm like, you need to do this so that you're okay for your kids. You have to be able to take care of your children. Like, I'm fine. I don't need you to take care of me. But you need to be able to take care of your kids. And so that was another like push to like, trying to get him to do the things that we talked about. So yeah.
Yeah. So were you, how do I say this? Did you want to date somebody with kids when you got
I'm not gonna lie. No, I did not. I no. That was I literally told but I didn't know he had kids. Like
Right.
I wouldn't say he lied to me, but he didn't tell me the whole truth either. Like, 'cause I told him like I didn't really want to talk to anyone with kids. I think he kind of like brushed past the subject and just didn't bring them up. Like, and then like few I don't know, like a few weeks later, he kind of like just like brought them up, and I was like, what the heck? And I was kind of thrown off because I was like, I'm not like a super big kid person. Like, do I love his kids? Yes, I love them dearly, but in general, I'm not a big kid person. Like after a while, they start to annoy me, and it's not in a bad way. It's just like
I know
kids.
I'm the same way.
So it's like, I mean, and I want kids. Like I do want kids, but it's just like after a while, it's like, all right, I want to be alone. Like I don't want to like play. That's the thing. Like I don't want to play. But
I'm
so,
sorry.
and it sounds so mean, and it's like I hate how it sounds, but it's the truth. Like I was like, I don't want to play anymore. Like I just want to come home, turn on Netflix, and be by myself. Like, and you go in the other room and you watch Nickelodeon and eat some Doritos. That's what I want you to do. Like, so that was definitely a transition for me. And like it wasn't like overnight where it's like, all right, his kids are spending the night over my house now. Like it definitely wasn't like that. I told him we had to work towards that. But yeah, me and his kids have really good relationships. Like I feel like there's like a mutual respect um between us. Like they know like, I don't want to be their mom. Like, not like, because they have great moms. Like I don't want to be their mom. Like that's not never my intention. I want them to know that I care for them, I love them, and I'm always going to be there for them because I'm clearly not going anywhere. I want to be part of your life. So that's kind of my goal in the situation, and then giving them back to their giving them back when it's time to give them back. But I love on them when they're here.
Yeah, that sounds like a good arrangement. And do you mind if I ask how old they are?
Yeah, so one's 7 and the other one is 3.
Okay, so they can like talk. They're not like in diapers. That's not bad.
Yeah, well,
Well,
the
one
year
was,
old
I
is
guess.
transitioning to potty
Yeah.
train, but yeah, so yeah, they talk a lot, but I like it because it's like it's nice to know that they
Yeah.
constantly to talk to me because they can honestly not. A lot of kids they just don't do that, but I've been in their lives for a long time, so it's like, and from a very young age, so it's like they kind of grew up around me, kind of
Yeah.
sort of. So
You're like another mom.
yeah, no,
Hopefully
that
it doesn't upset anybody, but
well, like, well, I hope not either. But I love their children, but
yeah.
um, like it was nice because when I graduated from my master's degree, my oldest stepchild, it was there, and I think Mother's Day was the like previous weekend, and she was like, "I didn't get to see you last week, but I wanted to say Happy Mother's Day," and I was like, "Oh, like thank
That's so
you."
nice.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely been a transition. It's definitely taught me that I'm more patient than I thought I was. Um, but yeah, I definitely don't want any kids right now. Like they're very great birth control, but I love them though. I just don't want any right now. They're
Yeah,
enough. They're good, all I need at the moment.
right. Okay, so how did he propose and were you expecting it?
I kind of was expecting it, and I kind of wasn't at the same time because he's not good at keeping secrets. And so it was Valentine's Day. So let me backtrack. He didn't listen to anything that I said. So I said, if you ever propose to me, this is the type of ring. Well, he did go on the ring, but I was like, this is the type shape of ring I like. I was like, I don't like all that extra like 10 different rocks on one ring. I don't like all that. And then I was like, don't propose to me on a holiday. Don't take me to get my nails done. Have someone else do that, because if you take me to get my nails done, I never get my nails done. That's why I was like, if you take me to get my nails done, I'm going to know. And what he do? He proposed to me on Valentine's Day. the most holiday of holidays. And then he, um, what he did, he took me to get my nails done. So I'm like, what the heck? So kind of like, well, not the Valentine's Day thing, but the nails thing kind of like triggered me.
Hmm.
And then I told him I always want my family to be there, like make sure my family's there. And so we went out to dinner, and I called my dad, or my dad called me, one or the other, while we were at dinner. And I was like, yeah, what are y'all doing? And he was like, yeah, we're about to go out to eat. And so that was like, oh, well, he can't be proposing because I told him I want my family there. Like, and if they're not there, then that's not happening. And so I came home and, well, so I kind of knew what was happening when I came home because there was like rose petals leading up to the door. I was like, what the heck is this? Like, what is, I was like, what is this? And so, and the lights were off, and I left the light on in the house on purpose for my dog. I don't ever leave him in the dark. So I was like, the lights are off. Something's happening. And so, yeah, we walked in. There was like balloons everywhere, and rose petals and candles, I think. And it was like a banner that said, "Will you be my wife?" and all that stuff. My family was there, and his mom and his sister, and yeah, I didn't cry in that moment. 'Cause I'm just not an emotional person like that. Like I said, I'm not a super developed person. But then, like when he like got up and walked away, I shed a little thug tear. But it was really nice though. So I kind of expected it, and I kind of didn't at the same time.
Aw, I cried so much that day. I feel like I cried all day, and I'm not a crier. I'm a happy crier, I
Yeah.
guess. So all day, my whole face was like swollen and
Aw.
my eyes were a mess. But that is so cute.
But the thing is, I cry at other people's proposals. Like I will go on YouTube, like I will type in wedding proposals on YouTube and literally sit there and start crying. So I'm like, I don't know why I didn't cry at mine, because I literally will start crying, like tears running down my eyes when I like watch other people getting proposed to, and like military people like coming home from like
Oh my
like stuff
God, I
like
love those.
that. Yeah. Like I will literally like go on YouTube and just like type in those videos for some odd reason. I don't know why I torture myself like that, but yes, I don't know why I didn't cry. Oh, I did shed a little tear. I shed a little tear. I don't know. I don't like crying in front of people. I think that's why I didn't
Yeah.
cry. I don't like showing a whole bunch of emotion in front of a lot of people.
Hmm.
You know, I was definitely happy. I just don't like showing a lot of emotion in front of people. So yeah.
Okay, so that was last Valentine's Day. So it's been about a year and a half, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Have you guys done any premarital counseling?
No, and I looked into it, which we probably should do like something, because I mean, like we don't have like any like, I don't know, we don't argue every day. It's not like, there's something like that, but there probably are things where we probably should talk about it before we get married. I just feel like every couple has something, to talk about. Like we probably should do something. Like I mean, at least one session, just to get it out in the open. But I gotta look more into it. But we haven't done anything like that yet.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're not having any problems and you already live together, that sounds great. I don't think I would have been ready to do it. We actually did premarital counseling before we got engaged,
Hmm.
and I don't know if
That's
I would
wow,
have.
really? That just registered in my head. Really?
Yeah, because we were talking about marriage, and I was like, I'm 24. Like, I don't feel like I'm old enough or like mentally ready enough to do this. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do the counseling beforehand because if we decided this isn't going to work, we shouldn't get married, I would rather
Right.
break up than like call off a wedding. That sounds like so dramatic.
Yeah.
So,
It's embarrassing. I feel like it's so embarrassing. Like,
right.
everyone's like, oh, they're getting married, and they're like, actually,
Actually, no, we're not.
right. I just feel like that's so embarrassing. I feel you.
Yeah, and then like you tell your whole family, all of that stuff. So we
Right.
did it, and after that was done, I was like, okay, now I'm excited and I'm ready to do it. And I was like waiting for the day for him to
Yeah.
propose.
Oh, that's nice. I
Yeah.
still feel like I'm too young, honestly. Not too
Me too.
young, but it's like I feel like our generation, it's like when I see someone get pregnant, I'm like, ooh, girl, you got pregnant. But it's like we're grown, like, it's like
Right.
I don't feel like a real adult. Like I really don't. Like I don't, that's why I don't feel I want kids. So like I don't feel like I'm at the point where I am mentally ready to take care of another person when I just started figuring out how to take care of myself. So it's like I don't feel like I'm at that. Like I don't know. That's not the right words. Like I just don't feel like an adult. I still feel like a kid.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely younger than I thought I would be when I got married.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not trying to be a young mom, so
Yeah.
that'll still be a few years away. But it is weird seeing other people like having kids. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like if I had a kid right now, I would be like a teen mom. Even though
Yeah.
I'm fully 26, it would
Right.
feel like I'm a child.
That's how I feel. It's like I could take care of it. If I had a baby, I could take care of this child. Do I want to do that? No. I don't want to buy clothes. I want to go travel. I want to do stuff. I want to do stuff like that's why I know I don't need a baby right now. Because I don't when I think about kids, I don't think like, oh my gosh. Like if I'm in Target, I don't walk past the baby section like, this is so cute. I walk past it. I don't it's tunnel vision. I don't see it. Okay.
Right.
Like so I just know I'm at that stage.
Yeah. Okay, so are you guys getting married around here?
In Woodbridge or Richmond?
Well, I mean, I had a destination wedding, so I guess around here should
Oh,
be just
okay.
anywhere in America.
Yeah, we're getting married in Virginia down here. Um, yeah, so yeah, we
Okay.
booked like several different venues.
You having a big wedding?
I hope not. Um, it was up to my mom. It would be a big wedding. If it was up to my mom, it would be a lot of things. But I don't know. I don't. I have a big family in general. Like I on
Yeah.
both sides of my family, I have like 7 to 8 aunts and uncles. So it's like
Wow.
literally on both sides. So that's a lot right there in general, and their kids. And then I have like extended family who like I grew up around and stuff like that. So it's like I would want them to come. Like and his family, his I don't think his family is not as big as mine, but yeah. So hopefully on our guest list, it's like 211. Hopefully, not all they don't come. I'm praying they don't come. Honestly, if they say no, it's okay. Like that's at the point of that. Like, if you say no, it's fine. I want you to say no at this point. And I'm not having any kids at the wedding, so hopefully that is like a deterrent. And they like, oh no kids, can't go. I'm like, great. But I
So
mean, I
how,
have a lot to celebrate with my family though.
yeah. So how has wedding planning been for you in general? Frustrating, magical? I have never heard anyone call it that, but
Um, I mean, I don't think it's been frustrating. I think what's been frustrating is, mom, if you watch this, I'm sorry, but like my mom has been a little bit frustrating, and my aunt has been a little bit frustrating. I mean, my aunt, she's like my second mom. Like I grew up in the same house with her my whole entire life, and because they want to invite everybody, and I think they're at the point now. I had to like kind of shut them down, like no, like stop, because they want to invite everybody. I'm like, everyone can't come. Like that's just not feasible. So stop talking. I'm like, just stop talking about it. If they bring it up, say I don't know. Just that's what I want you to say. Just say I don't know anything about what she's doing, and then they'll stop talking about it. Like every time they run into somebody that I've like known like way back when I was a cheerleader in like first grade, they'll be like, yeah, I ran into so and so and they want to come to your wedding. Like, no, they can't come. Like, maybe if you didn't have 8 brothers and sisters, sure, but no, they can't come. So that's been frustrating. Like, trying to break it down to them that I don't want them. I'm appreciative that they want to celebrate me, and I'm appreciative that they are happy for me. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is that everyone can't be there, like, and I don't want everyone there. Like, people haven't seen in years. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would I want someone who I haven't seen since I was a little kid at my wedding? Like, I feel like that, and they look at it as like, they care about you. I'm like, okay, well, they can care about me through Facebook. That's where they can care about me. Like, but this doesn't make sense for me to invite them. But that's like the biggest frustration, and I think they started to like realize that now because they're at the point where I don't do what you want. It's your wedding. I'm like, yeah, yeah, as long as you know, because it's starting to get irritating. So, but outside of that, though, everything's been fine. I mean, 90% of everything is kind of like booked. So,
You have
yeah.
your dress?
No, I'm actually going wedding dress shopping next week.
Oh, yay. Have fun.
Thanks. I'm actually coming to Woodbridge one of the days to do it, and
Hmm.
then come down here in Richmond. So, yeah, and we have our engagement pictures next week too. So,
Oh, that's so exciting. All of that stuff is really fun. I loved going dress shopping. Are you
Yeah, I'm
taking a bunch of
excited.
people?
So the boutiques, like on the website, a lot of them are saying you can only bring like 4 people. So, because one of them is a Woodbridge, so the group in Woodbridge is kind of different than the group in Richmond. Um, so yeah, so at most I can only bring 4 people, but I think um I only have like 3 people in each one of them, something like that, around 3. But like Shay,
Yeah.
she's coming with me.
Oh.
Yeah, so to one of them. So yeah, so it'll be exciting. Um, hopefully, I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't want to get discouraged. Like I don't want to get in there and like the dresses that I really like don't fit me. Like, cause I want to say I'm self conscious about my body, but I am at the same time. Like yeah. So I just want it to be fit right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I went dress shopping, I was nervous. Honestly wasn't even excited to go. Once I did it, I felt good about it, but I was like, I know that the dresses that would have looked great on me in college are not going to look
Yeah.
the same on my current body.
Right. Yeah.
But it's
Well, your
still
dress is
fun.
beautiful though.
Oh, thank you so much. But that's the thing, like their wedding dresses, you're gonna feel like a princess no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Especially I only took one person because I'm a super introvert, but I
Yeah.
feel like if you take people with you that you really enjoy, it's always gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited. I just a little nervous.
Mhm.
That's why I've been in the gym like 5 to 6 days a week. So I've been trying to get this body snatched before the wedding. That's another reason I'm not like too hard on myself because the dress is going to take 8 months to get here, and then I got to get it altered. So hopefully by the time it gets here, I'm at some good point, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, have fun.
thanks.
So I'm curious, what do you think about the current dating situation, I guess, for people our age? It seems like everybody is a hot mess. I don't know, like no I mean, obviously a lot of people are getting engaged and married, but it seems like for dating, if you're just trying to find somebody, it looks hard from
Yeah,
the outside.
yeah. Dating is definitely trash. Um, I don't know. I feel like not to toot my own horn or anything because I'm not that person, but I never like I don't want to say had a problem with dating. Like I don't want to sound like a hoe because I'm not. Like, but it's like I like never had a problem with meeting guys. I should say that. Like I've never had that type of problem. Like and how clearly I would be with them if they were good, and I'm not with them, so that clearly didn't work out. But I never had a problem with meeting guys. But I feel like social media kind of has like messed a lot of people up. Like I feel like people don't know how to talk to people in person, and then they have like this warped perception of like what the relationship supposed to look like. Like people are like, yeah, my man pays all the bills and flies me out and gives me diamond necklaces and buys me a brand new car. Like, what? Where you saw him at? Cause
Right, and he's 27. Like
right, right. Like, is it legal? What's he doing? Because I want to know. So I think people have this warped perception because they see the freaking scammer doing it, and so I'm like, no, that's not reality. Like me and my man, like he provides, but like I still pay bills. Like I would never make him pay all the bills when I know one, I know he has 2 kids that he still has to provide for. Two, this is my house. At the end of the day, like he lives here, but this is my house. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and make him pay all my bills in my house. You know what I mean? Like so I'm not that type of person. So he definitely provides, but I still pay bills. And I feel like people need to understand like that's reality. That's what a lot of people do. You might see that on social media, but that's what a lot of people do. Okay, like a lot of people split their bills
Mhm.
because it's the economy that we live in. Okay, we don't live in the '90s where rent was $400. Like, we don't do that. So yeah, I don't know, but I think people need to, speaking from a woman, I guess I should say, like I think people need to stop settling and know their worth. I feel like people out of like they don't want to be alone. And I've been even like I said earlier, I had never had a problem with meeting guys, but I never had a problem with being alone either. Like I was perfectly before I met my fiance, I was perfectly fine being by myself. I wasn't looking for love, like none of that. So I think people need to learn to be alone and to understand themselves and be comfortable in being alone in order for them to have a successful relationship because you're not used to being by yourself and you're jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship or what you think is a relationship and you're never satisfied like you're like searching for something like you're not you're trying to fill a hole that's never going to be filled and so that is what's wrong from a woman's perspective I think and from a man's perspective they just need to their mamas I don't know what they did but sorry let me stop I love all the mamas but I don't know, men, I just feel like men, I have a good man, so it's kind of hard. Men aren't good. Like my man. I should say like men just aren't my man. Like my man, he goes, I sound like that TikTok. My man, my man, my man. Yeah, my man, he goes above and beyond to make sure that I'm good and I'm happy. And like if I say like the other day, I was like, I want an iPad. He was like, why? I was like, because it will help me with my creative stuff. Like graphic design and like selling stuff. I was like, I just want an iPad. He was like, okay, I'll send you money for it. Like he supports what I do, like, and make sure that I'm happy. And I try to do the same thing for him. Like I think that is what people are missing. Like it's a mutual thing. Like it's not your man just making you happy. I'm trying to make him happy too. So I think that's what people need to take away.
Yeah, I think so too. And I feel like people who are just dating and are trying to get married, I feel like people look online so much to try to find relationship advice. Literally anybody could call themselves a relationship
Right.
expert. That doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
And just give arbitrary advice that doesn't apply to everybody.
Right.
And I feel like if you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out what's the best way to structure our finances or how should we be doing this, like talk to each other. Like you
Right.
don't have to look for the internet or for other people to tell you how to do something. You can design your relationship any way that you want it to look.
Right.
And people on the internet, half those people are single. Like
Right.
Kevin Samuels literally did not have a
I don't
wife.
even want to talk about that man. Like,
And
not talking about the dead, but he,
oh yeah, whoops.
right, but like, hey, it is what it is. My fiance, he will listen to him sometimes, not because he like agree with him, he just like will listen to him. I'm like, why are you listening to him? But yeah,
Literally not married and
right,
telling other men how to get women to be married. That
right,
doesn't even make sense.
right, yeah. So,
So just check your sources if you are gonna look on the internet.
right. I don't know. Social media is just like it puts too many things in people's heads that's not real. Like social media, I'm a big advocate. I would say it all the time. Social media is not real. That's why I don't have a problem looking a hot mess on social media. Like I don't like it's not real. Who's gonna do what to me from social media? You know what I mean? Like what you're gonna do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not stopping my pockets. It's not it's not doing nothing for me. Like I'm
Mhm.
not getting paid from this. Like what? So I mean, for some people, yes, but for I would say 90% of America or worldwide, you're not getting paid for this. So why are you trying to put on a front for social media? Like city girls, they can afford to do that. They got money, even though they with Diddy and Lil Uzi, who also has money, they have money themselves. So
Right.
it's like I feel like people just have this warped perception of just life in general, and they need to go through actual life to understand that it's not real and that's not going to happen for you. I mean, it might. Hey, more power to you. If you find a man who pays all your bills, that is more power to you. But
Right.
most likely, it's not going to happen. So,
Right. The chances that some you're gonna find a man who pays all your bills, who's emotionally available and intelligent and helps out around the house and caters to your every whim, who's not the same age as your dad,
right,
is slim to none.
right,
Like, Anyway,
And then it's
the
like, why are you lowering your standards because this man has money? Like now you're gonna talk to basically your dad's friend because he got a little bit of change. So you're gonna do something strange for a piece of change. That's what I'm getting from it. Okay. So I just feel like that's lowering your standards. Like now I understand at this age, a lot of us don't have a lot of ourselves together. Like I'm still working on myself. Like I have a great job and I have my master's degree, my house, about to get married, blah blah. But it's like I still have a lot of like work to do. Like I'm not in the position where it's like, all right, I'm good. Like no, I'm trying to get to six figures. Like I'm trying to get to a 5 bedroom house. I'm like that's what I'm trying to get to. Like I'm trying to get to family vacations every year. Like that's what I'm trying to get to. And I can't expect a man if I'm not at that level, I can't expect a man to, be on that level if I'm not at that level. Like I feel like you need to help each other, like
exactly, yeah, you
guide each
can build
other.
that together.
Right.
They don't have to have it from day one. They have to have a plan to get there. I'm not saying date a bum,
Right.
but do they have to have a private jet the minute that
Right.
they meet you? I don't think so.
Exactly. No,
Yeah,
it's unrealistic.
right. Okay, can you give us a book recommendation?
Yes, I actually had it. I don't know. I think it's left it in my kitchen. But so I'm reading the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I believe, the Hunger Games prequel.
I have that. It's right
Yeah,
up there.
I just started reading it. It's pretty good so far. I'm the type of person who likes to read books before the movies come out, and I always get upset when I find out that it was a book before. I mean, after I watched it, and I get really upset because I like to compare. And at that point, I just feel like it's too late for me to read the book. But so yeah, I'm reading that now, and that's pretty good so far. I'm more of like a fiction person. I'm not like a
Me too.
self-help book person. I don't like any of those types of things. They're boring to me. Like womp womp. I don't but so I'm definitely more of a fiction girl. And like a show was Lock and Key. That was a good one. We just finished that. If you ever watched it, I mean, heard of it.
I haven't. What is it about?
Um, it's actually based off a book, which I was pretty upset that I didn't know that. Or is it based off a comic series? I don't know, but it's based off of something. It was already made. Um, and basically, like this family move into this house that their dad used to live in after their dad dies or gets killed. And it has like magical keys and stuff like that. It sounds like a kid show, but it's really not. It has like magical keys. Like a key will you can open like put it in the door and open the door and it'll take you anywhere you want to go. And
Whoa.
yeah, stuff like that. It's a really good show. It's like 3 seasons. We just finished it. So that's a good one if you're into like stuff like that. I'm into stuff like that. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah, that's a good one. Like
Where
Stranger
did you
Things,
watch it? What
Netflix.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that's a good one.
Okay.
You should watch that.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. What is your dream for your life's work?
Oh gosh. I want to make really not even really for other people, more so for like my future kids and my like I want to make sure they're set up for success. Like that's my main thing about my life. Like I had a very good upbringing, which is why I'm able to live in a house and go get my master's degree and know my self worth. So I want my children to have that times 10. Like I don't want them to have to struggle or I want to be able to for them to go to school and not have to be in debt. Like stuff like that. I want them to just go through life easily and not easily where like they don't have to work for anything, but it's easy as in the fact that like they don't have to be in debt like a lot of black people are because they don't have they just didn't know like my mom she like sometimes she'll say just take a loan out. I'm like I don't want to take a loan out, you know what I mean? I don't want to keep digging a hole like for myself. I feel like that's like I'm never going to get out of it. And so I just want my kids to know that like financial literacy and just like being happy and I don't know. Stuff like that makes me kind of emotional. Like when I think about it, like I'm trying not to cry right now. But um sorry. But yeah, I just want my future kids, even though I said earlier I don't want any kids, I want my future kids to like be as successful as possible so that they aren't living a hard life because a lot of people do. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really great mission. I love seeing Black kids that don't have to struggle. Like, we live in a nice neighborhood,
Yeah.
and seeing so many Black families living here and so many like little Black kids that get to grow up here and enjoy this place, it makes me really happy. Not gonna be our kids because we're not having them when we live in this house, but
Yeah.
it's really cute, and I definitely share that same dream.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media? You have a few different social medias for all your businesses.
Yeah. Well, the main one, I don't even know what my main one is. Let me look. Hold on. It's Destiny. What is my thing? Destiny S. Dot Mo. That's my Instagram. So you can find me there.
Okay.
Doing work.
Thank you so much, Destiny, for doing this. Everybody go follow Destiny, go read the book she recommended, watch the show she talked about. This was a really funny conversation and I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad. I'm like not a serious person. So it's like, everything's a joke. But
Yeah.
I enjoy myself as well.
Okay. Well, I thank you, Destiny, and I'll talk to y'all in a couple weeks. Bye.